Oh, God. Here we go. Okay, hello to all my regular viewers and the people that inevitably will click on this video simply because it says something about a Negan death theory. This is the exact opposite of a Negan death theory. This is me ranting about the Negan death theories. I knew when this happened, when this cliffhanger happened, and we were gonna have to wait for months and months and months to find out who it was that Negan killed. This was inevitable. The people were gonna start making videos, making these big long posts on Tumblr, going on, trying to figure out who exactly Negan killed. Now the problem is, there's a thing called logic, and a lot of these people don't seem to have it. You can't really do that if you're gonna do a death theory and there's no logic in your theory. Now, I'm not saying all of these death theories are absolutely ridiculous, because they're not, but some of them most definitely are. I'm gonna talk about those death theories, why they're not even close. I would like to think that I know Negan pretty well, because I'm absolutely obsessed with him. And when I become obsessed with someone or something, I have to know everything, every little detail about it, or else I don't feel like I can say that I'm obsessed with it. So, I wouldn't be able to say that I was obsessed with Negan unless I actually was, and I totally am. Whether or not you agree with my thoughts and views on these theories is whatever. That's not really the point. This is not a discussion on who he killed. This is just me telling you why some of these theories that I don't think are even close to being true, I'm wondering why they're so popular and why so many people think they're true when it really couldn't be further from the truth. And maybe you don't feel the same way, and that's fine, but that's not really what this is. It's just me telling you why I don't think they're true. The first and pretty much the major theory that I see everywhere, and I see it all the time, and I see way too many people believing it, and I see videos made about it with 300,000 plus views, is the Negan kills Michonne death theory. You all. But I'm going to talk about first, before I talk about Negan's side in this, I'm going to talk about why that's not true, that it's Michonne, why it's never going to be Michonne. It's not Michonne. It just flat out, it's not. It's not Michonne, it's not Maggie, it's not Rosita, it's not any of them, any of the women there. It's none of them. What do they have in common? They're all women. They're all badass women, but they're women. Now Michonne couldn't be more safe. This is why it's so funny to me that people think it's Michonne. Michonne couldn't be more safe right now. She just got with Rick. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of information here. If you don't read the comics, and there's a lot of people that don't, I'm going to let you in on a little thing here. At this point in time in the comics, at least around this time, is when Rick gets with Andrea. Andrea is still alive in the comics. Still to this day alive in the comics. Negan arrived in issue 100. We're in the 150s right now, in terms of ones that have been released. I can't remember what exact number, but it's in the 150s. There's even been a 2-year time jump in the comics during this time. After the Negan stuff, after the All Out War arc, there's a 2-year time jump to kind of move things along. And so after all this time, Andrea's still alive. You know who else is still alive in the comics? Michonne. Now, Michonne's going to take a different storyline in the show, that's clear, because in the comics she ends up getting with Ezekiel and all this other stuff happens. She's with Rick in the story, and her being with Rick and taking Andrea's particular arc here, I'm not saying that they're anything like those two characters, because they're not, but in terms of storyline and the longevity of it, that's what this is. Michonne is Rick's long-term love interest. Her getting with Rick just sealed her fate on this show. She is here for a very, very, very long time. if even to the end, because Robert Kirkman has always said that Rick, Michonne, and Carl would make it to the last comic. Will they make it to the last episode of the show? Who knows? I freaking hope so, but, you know, that's a whole different thing. But Michonne is safe. Michonne's fine. You know, and the main argument people try and give is, oh, she got with Rick, everybody that gets with Rick dies. That's not a solid argument as to why Negan would kill her. It has nothing to do with that. And that's just not a good reason to give as to why she's the one who died. Like, Michonne getting with him, it just further saves, like, just gives her more time on this show, even more than she already had. She's safe. She's fine. Furthermore, I'm glad I waited till today to film this, because either yesterday or the day before, I can't remember what day it was exactly, Dana, who plays Michonne, was just spotted on set yesterday, or the day before that, with Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick. They're on episode 3 right now. Spoilers, filming spoilers, they're on episode 3 right now. Ezekiel's been spotted and everything. Like, there's so many characters that have already been spotted filming, and Dana was there yesterday or the day before. Like I said, I can't remember what day it was. But she is there filming episode 3 right now. So she's not dead, and she's never gonna, she's not gonna die by Negan, okay? She's not. In any way is she going to die by Negan. Never. It's not gonna happen. Given what's going on right now in, specifically in America with this whole, these issues with race and police violence and things that's happening, you know, it's clear that we have got a lot of issues going on right now on that front. I would like to just, this is a genuine question to everybody, not just the people who think it's Michonne, but just to everybody. How well do you think it would go over if a crazy white man with a baseball bat beat a black woman's head in, beat her to death on national television? You know, I don't think that would go over very well. With the media, with the fans, not gonna go over well, okay? Not gonna happen. It's just, that would be that literally, this show does stupid things sometimes. They do. But that would be about the stupidest thing they could do. It really could. Now, on the Negan side of things, why Negan would not kill Michonne, or Maggie, or Rosita, or Sasha, why he's not gonna kill them with Lucille, is because he's never killed a woman with Lucille. Not that we know of, at least, and correct me if I'm wrong, other than Walker's, I don't think we've ever seen him kill a woman with Lucille. Now, I know that he killed Holly. Before everybody starts that stuff, I know he killed Holly, but he did not kill her with Lucille. We didn't even know for a long time that it was Negan that killed her. Robert Kirkman finally said, yeah, Negan killed her. We were just kind of led to believe that maybe he had the Savior's killer or something, but it was Negan himself, so Negan did kill a woman, but he didn't kill her with Lucille, because when we see Holly again, when he takes her to Alexandria to try and do that whole offer with Rick, and he pulls the thing off her head, she is turned into a walker, but her head is fully attached, there's no bashing in happened, nothing like that. So however he killed her, maybe he stabbed her, maybe he shot her, something like that, but he did not bash her head in with Lucille. I honestly don't think Negan would do that to a woman. I really don't. And in terms of his wives, I mean, you know, he said the same, like, he's mentioned to his wives when one of them cheated on him in the comics, because that happened. Once again, spoiler. They kind of, Sherry, Dwight's wife, you know, she kind of started to get a little on edge when Negan was yelling, and he says, you know, have I ever hit any of you? Calm the fuck down, you know, because Negan and violence against women don't really go hand in hand. I know that this fandom keeps trying to twist him out, you know, twist him to be some, like, crazy evil rapist or something, even though Negan is completely against rape and sexual assault of any kind. He will kill you for it. A man named David learned the hard way that you don't try to do that. You will get a knife through your throat if you attempt it and Negan finds out. I know that when he attacks Alexandria, starts throwing the grenades and stuff and all that, there's probably women that died, yes, but I honestly like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, we've never seen him kill a woman with Lucille before. Other than walkers, I get. But, like, a real live woman, you know, why wouldn't he kill Holly with Lucille, if, you know what I mean? I know Holly had been through it at that point, but still. I'm not worried about any of the women in this situation because I honestly don't think Negan would do it. It's like the whole thing with Maggie, even though he said, oh, I should just put you out of misery right now, I don't think that he was really going to do that, because if you know anything about Negan, you know he likes to talk big and like threaten people constantly with their lives, but he never actually does it. I mean, he's been threatening Carl's life in the comics since he met the kid, and he's still fine. You know, I don't think that Negan actually goes through with majority of the things he says he's gonna do, just because he likes to scare people, but he won't actually do it, you know? Not that he's a pussy or anything, but just because, you know, that's kind of how he does. Now, the other theory that I want to talk about, that this one just makes me laugh, because I find it so funny. Negan kills Carl. Oh god. No. No. And this is just common sense. Like, this is just complete comic sense. Like, comic sense. That makes sense as well, because it is comic sense. There is no logic in this theory that Negan killed Carl. It's just not gonna happen. Ever is this going to happen. For one thing, this show is like Chandler Riggs' life, and he loves this shit, and they never let him do anything, and this is like, this stuff that's getting ready to come up, because it is going to happen. Carl's not going to die. Some of his best stuff in this story is with Negan, and like I said, I know that they've been talking about maybe not giving all of it to him in interviews, which is making me angry just thinking about it, because why would you not? But his stuff with Negan is literally some of the best stuff in the comics. It's literally one of my favorite parts of the whole Negan storyline, is his time with Carl at the Savior's compound and all the stuff that goes on. Like, and for them to kill Carl and you all, it just doesn't make any sense. That's all I can say, because there is so much character development for Carl during this time with Negan. There is so much there for him. There's so much story left. He hasn't even gotten to do all that much on this show. I mean, most of the time he's carrying Judith around. That's all the kid ever gets to do, and I feel so bad for Chandler Riggs, because he deserves better than that. He shouldn't have to carry this kid around constantly and not get to do anything else. This Negan stuff could be what finally gives him that screen time that he deserves, and to be able to do, you know, that stuff, you know, and actually have a role in this whole thing, more than just carrying a baby around all the time. Like, that's what Negan is for him. Negan is opportunity. Negan is a chance to have all of those things that he deserves to have. Why they would kill him before he even gets a chance would be so stupid. It's just as stupid as Negan killing Michonne. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's just not. And I don't know why people would even come up with that theory, because it literally makes no sense at all. Now, I've said it before on this channel, but if you've never been to this channel, then you probably never heard me say it, so I'm going to say it again. The only people that I think are at risk of getting the bat are Glenn, just because it's his comic death. That's the only reason why. Majority of the characters on this show don't get their comic death. Why they would, which, I mean, they did start, you know, they did pick up with Jesse, but, you know, it doesn't really mean anything. But the only reason why I would say that it would be Glenn is just because, once again, it's his comic death. That's the only reason, really, that there is. Because I still think Glenn has places to go and a story to tell, and I don't think it's his time yet. But the second one is Daryl. Now, I know a lot of people don't believe this is true. I don't even really think... I don't think that this show has the balls to kill Daryl off at least like this, and that really makes me mad, because that would be the best choice for them. That would be the best thing for this, the best one to die by Negan. I mean, this death, not that Glenn's death wouldn't affect everybody, but Daryl's would too. And, you know, Daryl's the fan favorite for some reason. Don't really get why that is. I mean, you know, like I said, I don't even understand what he really does anymore. Don't know why he's a fan favorite, but he is. But he would be the better choice, honestly. Out of the three that I'm going to talk about, Daryl's the better choice. Daryl's the choice that they should have gone with if they didn't. Which I know that they didn't. Because they, like I said, they just don't have the balls to do it. But Daryl should be the one. He's my pick for this. And I wish it would be him, but I highly doubt it is. And Abraham, just because his scene with Eugene right before they run into the Saviors kind of seemed like a goodbye, and I don't know. Out of all the ones that would take it like a champ, Abraham would. But that, you know, that's... So really, as much as I want it to be Daryl, I doubt it is. So that leaves Abraham and Glenn. Which one of those two it is, I don't know. But I feel like those are the only three that it could possibly be out of everybody. I gave you the reasons why it's not any of the other ones. Because it's not. But there you go. It's one of those three. I don't know which one of the three it is. I'm not here to give you a death theory. I'm just here to tell you what theories I think are so stupid it's not even funny, and what theories make a little more sense. You know, there are a lot of theories out there about Glenn, Abraham, and Daryl, and those I think make much more sense than the other ones that are out there that make absolutely no sense. So there you go. If you don't agree with me on this, that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I feel like some of these theories just don't make any sense with the story. They don't make any sense with the characters. They're, you know, a lot of it makes Negan seem really out of character. Like, it just, you know, it just doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in the grand scheme of things when you look at it. And so, like I said, even if you don't agree with me, it's just my thought on the whole thing. It's my rant on the whole thing. This is how I feel about it, and it's just a little bit ridiculous, I think. I know that a lot of people share that same frustration as I do with a lot of these fan theories, and I'm really mad that I even have to put up with this. I really wish that they would have just shown us who died. We could have forgotten all about this. Like, by the time October came, we would have been ready to start and go into all the Negan stuff, you know, without, you know, after the death. But, you know, now we're gonna have to go through it all when October arrives. So, yeah. There you go. So, until next time, I am Officer Friendly, over and out.